evening, all you lovely people on a Sunday evening. We are going to be watching our final semi final of the GOATS tournament for Prospect Esports Showdown. We have today Prospect Solo Alt Academy taking on Let Flame Junk, where we can see Math Elite's Ryan go up against Budget on Solo Alt Academy. We're expecting this to be a nice competitive match. I don't know if any of you were here a couple of days back when we saw Xantar Diff go up against uh, who was the other one? Sorry, here I am.
Yeti.
Yeti, of course, Yeti. I'm so sorry to any Yeti
Yeti
players out
players.
there. They're probably thinking, who is this chick? And hello, we're currently in number one place, getting ready to take on the winner of these two teams for the grand final next week. So Yeti against Xantardiff started off pretty competitively. Xantardiff took one map against Yeti, and Yeti had to, get serious and show them who was boss. And as it turned out, Yeti was indeed the boss and thrashed them in the 4-1. So congratulations to Team Yeti. We're looking very much forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, and
Laurel.
whoever I was just going to repeat that whoever wins this gets to go off with them, and so that's going to be excited. I'm excited to see the lineup. I think both teams are ready to start on Oasis tonight, and I am looking forward to my redemption arc that I can now pronounce Let Flame Drunk properly tonight during my casting. So, let us see how our teams match up for Oasis.
Now, Oasis is quite an interesting map. We do have a little bit of high ground on some of the maps, and it's always interesting to see how Goats tournaments teams do take that on board. Yes,
Yeah.
let's have a watchy and see what they choose. So far, nobody has chosen anything. They've got 10 seconds to do so, but let's see. They're going to
Maybe they're
assemble
keeping us
their
in
heroes.
suspense. They know we complain
Indeed.
so much about the classic. Oh, there
Here
goes
we
it
are.
unlocked.
Oh, we have a bit of ball on. That's
Ooh,
interesting.
ball and hog.
Mercy.
And a Moira! I
I
wonder if they're
think
debating
I don't
us.
know. I think they're just debating me. They do last week. Uh, got a little bit of flaming from me, of course, because I got sick of the Ryan Zardiva. So I'm hoping I will see something a little more exciting. Mathalete on the Orisa? No, no. See,
Just
look, they're just
randomly.
debating me again. I
Oh,
got
my
so excited.
heart!
Anyway, so quick out the doors we are. It's going to be Let Flame Junk on the point first with Solo Alt going and taking that high ground. They have currently already booped off Rhine off the high ground. Artemis falls to her death, and I think that's very clearly a Junk win
Oh, yeah,
on that first fight.
that's a match you don't want to see, really. A self-suicide, unfortunately, and it just gets wrapped up so fast.
So fast. It's really these is really one of those comps where you lose one and a 5v6 is just almost impossible. Now, the team differences are not very much indeed. Of course, we do have Let Flame Junk here with the highest ults so far. We do see that Jinral is going to get his trance first from the looks of it, just due to the amount of extra damage they're taking. Mathlete goes for a charge, gets punished because he misses, and we're going to solo ult, take this second fight, and they haven't had to use an ult to do it.
Yeah, they're going to have
Isn't it?
Oh, I was gonna say, they're gonna have trans and shatter up. They're gonna be able to pick the fight at their speed for the solo alt academy. They did say in their interview last week, coming up to more skilled teams, they're going to have those fights where they're going to be punished when they do stupid things, and so we're gonna hopefully see some of that yummy goodness tonight.
Yeah, Mathalete is surely known for his aggression, and we expect that to be punished. You can expect a shatter to come up. Yes, you got to get it down fast. They blocked it with the Zarya bubble. Still got more coming on. We're going to rally into Solo Alt Academy. Ults coming out left and right.
Not a lot to
Uh,
show for it either.
Not a lot to show. Jinral gets a pick on Mathalete. He's gone in on a suicide charge once more. Uh, Solo Old Academy not using their ults. Taking it with just Rally and Shatter. That's very good ult economy there. We've now got 4 ults v 4 ults again, and Solo Old Academy owns the point, which gives them a distinct advantage. So they can take cover where they need to. Now, Mathalete really just needs to get himself in order here and stop going for those charges. They've used both defensive ults on Solo Old Academy. Bogwart's Trance yet to come out. He's saving it for the next fight because, again, we're going to have a solo ult win. They have just Zen ult to rely on. Now, of course, we've got Shatter and Rally coming back online from that second fight that was used. And I don't like the look of this, Laurel. I don't. Unless they can
Yeah.
get some massive bomb off very quickly. I
Now,
just think, no, there's not even going to be a touch. Is there?
yeah, I
Oh,
think
no, we've got
yeah, only
Line
Zarya
coming
noticed
in.
that they were going the roundabout way.
Now, Bogwarts, you're going to have to use this ult soon. Yes, you've used it before the Shatter. Very well done. No Anas in this one, so no nade to counter that trance. Rally online as expected by both. Bomb coming in by Bloodhorn, and no kills on that. It's going to be a junk win. Now, I really think that more could have come out of that. I feel like there's a bit of panic ult going on here. Bloodhorn could have definitely done a little bit more, but he just sort of threw it up. I don't know if that was a remecking ult, but I don't think it was particularly well used.
Yeah, that is sometimes a strategy used by divas. You know you're going to be DMX, so you just throw your bomb because you know you're going to get it fast enough. But I agree, like it was shot where it didn't really have any optimal value. Uh,
Now
Flame taking
against,
background,
yes,
dropping very early though.
very early, big grab by Artemis onto their team. Solo ult takes that nice and easy. Now that's very, very definitive. Yeah, we saw that Zarya ult coming in. You know, they're just going to trickle on here. You know, they do have both defensive ults on solo ults, so, you know, it's just going to go very much the way of solo ult here. They've still got beat, comes out. Oh, I think he's beat it a little early, but not too early in this case. He has
Yeah,
plenty on his side. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like some of these ults could be used a little bit more polished, but oh well, it is what it is.
I
And
definitely agree. I think Mathley, his aggression is well known, but his team just isn't pushing in fast enough for him, and
mm-hmm.
he's often the early pick. I mean, that's sometimes the way it goes in goats. Ryans get early picks off, but there's a huge gap between him and his team, and if they can just smell each other's buttholes for a little while, they will be able to, do a reverse sweep and go just great for this next round.
Yeah, I really want to see Flame being a little bit more careful with his Zarya bubbles. They're coming in late or a bit early. Certainly, you definitely don't want it early in a matchup of goats, because you're just going to miss out on that damage and that protection. And your healers aren't going to be able to react quick enough. So we've got Mathalete sort of peeking in. Their Brig was behind a bit. They're not tight enough on Let Flame Junk. I do want to see them get tighter. See, look at this. You have a Lucio on Lucio sort of fight in that right-hand corner. Unders and yeah, just split, Laurel. Just split all over the place. I'm just, yeah, you don't like to see it.
Yeah, normally the fights are a little stretched out so that I can, properly advertise for the stream. And right now I've been quickly alt-tabbing back to my game, and I feel like I'm missing the action before I can even get one post off. It's kind of sad right now.
Yeah, it is a little bit disappointing. Mathalete, already they've used their Zarya bubble, and it's too early. He's not able to advance with it. Again, we've got a bit of a split. Like, you don't mind seeing the D.Va up on that right-hand side, but they are finding it very difficult to push through this choke. Yeah, this Oasis point is always quite difficult. It's sort of one of those ones where if you're on the point, you own it. Uh, Now look, we saw Artemis with their Gravolt there, very quite a nice one, but nothing taken from it. So this is an opportunity for Let Flame Junk to get a couple of picks, or not, as it
The
were,
double
because
grab,
their Rhine
double
is down
bomb.
again. Yeah, let Flame Junk. I just don't know if Mathalete is getting the support he really needs. Let's have a look and see. Let's see how they approach this. You've got your Lucio, who is on a bit of speed. Where's he going to amp at the right time? They need to amp now. Now, no amp. See, they're not able to move in on that shatter. It's a little bit disappointing. And
And
here
because
we
they were,
go. Both Rhines taken out, but they've left themselves exposed on the back, and half of them go off with him.
yeah,
Not
that's going to be
good.
play of the game. That was a
That is
massive
play. That is a
environmental.
big, massive play by budget. Uh, you know, just he's out. He's almost out aggressioning Mathalete here. It's just not. Maybe he isn't a budget Rhine after all. We should call him
Mathlete charging
extravagant.
in
Yeah,
really without the
Mathalete
support
charging
of
in a
anybody.
big nade on the rallying Briggs, so they can't advance with it. Uh, Budget nanoed, of course, getting some free swings off. Oh, Budget's out of the thing, and both supports are caught, but you have the trance coming in to save the day with Diva Bomb going off, splitting Let Flame Junk even further. Ryan out again, and Solo Alt Academy just takes that so easily.
Yeah, they take
So
Oasis.
easily.
Yeah, without much resistance. I don't know if Let Flame Junk has had much practice outside of scrims or they're just tired from how long this GOAT tournament has been, but I was kind of expecting a little bit more aggression from Let Flame Junk. And not just
Yeah,
aggression, but cohesion.
yeah, I
Because
was expecting a bit more cohesion because obviously last week we saw that they were really in cahoots with each other, but this time they seem to be a little bit uh disjointed. And I don't know, like we have Bell Moloch in this week, who definitely was not there last week. I do not recognize that name. I'm wondering if there's a little bit of a, when you're in sort of a new team, it's not your regular team. Um,
mhm.
Maybe there's a little bit of like there's not as much cohesion. They don't seem to know when to hit that speed and go in, because certainly there was an opportunity there where Mathalete got that shatter off, and they should have been able to, really take advantage of that and speed onto it, but the speed just did not come through.
Yeah, that's true. Lucios have to play with their team to get the rhythm because even though there's optimal times for speed, every team plays it a little differently.
Mm. So yeah, hopefully it's just a little bit of early game, getting used to each other sort of thing, but hopefully they'll be a lot more cohesive in this next map. Now, have we chosen a next map yet, lads? Doesn't look like it.
No, because we have an NA lobby host, which is me, and I have forgotten which the map is next, and so I'm trying to find that in the rule books. Chat, please be kind to me. I don't know where my brain is tonight.
Meanwhile, I'll just sit here and be glad that no one's asked me to look at pool, so I don't feel guilty at all about not knowing which are our two next options. It looks like we have Volskaya or Hanamura as our next two. Oh, or you can also choose Temple. So this is really a case of pick anyone you like, because as you know, since what was it? Since about February or so, Horizon Lunar Colony and Paris have not been eligible for competitive play, which personally I'm glad of, because every single time you get one of those in ranked, you just want to tear out your hair. But I will say Horizon Lunar Colony and Paris can make for very, very interesting, uh, you know, tournament maps, because they really need that nuance of knowing what to do with your team. It's very much a bit of a mental check, a tactics and strategy check rather than just pure mechanics. So it's a little bit of a shame, but all 2CP do require you to, you know, have a very good control over your pathing. The first point being notoriously difficult to cap without, you know, good strategy. You can't just sort of go in there and it's like, oh, we'll get a pick and we win. It's not that simple, is it?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say something controversial. I don't know why people hate Horizon so much. I know why
Well,
people hate Paris, but
I think
Horizons.
the number of times I had 8v7 might tell you. Far out. 9 CP, man. I swear, like this one time I had this map and it was 9-9 draw. And I was like, they need to get rid of this map.
Yeah,
I
so
think
we
it was
are.
when we were starting to run that. Remember how they had that 4 tanks to support meta
Oh,
for like 4 weeks? Oh
I
my
don't
goodness
want to
me.
remember.
Oh my goodness me. That was nuts. You had, what was it? It was Diva, Hog, Zarya, Ryan, and it was just complete insanity. Don't want to go back to those days. And Moira had her ult up every 45 seconds. And it was just like, yep, you cap, you cap, you cap, you cap. No, thank you. Anyway, but no, it is a nice map, Horizon Lunar Colony. I think, the amount of effort that really that Blizzard have put into some of these maps, for the lore and just, for the scene. It's just, it's very nice. It has lots of little Easter eggs to be found in it. And it's just nice to play on maps that do look different. Which I think is definitely something that's definitely in, say, Overwatch's favor compared to something, say, like Valorant, where I know that there are 3 maps, but I swear every time, like, I'm on, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I just played on this map." Because to me,
Yeah.
it's not, I don't find that to be very, like, each map isn't particularly unique. The layout's different, but the general sort of feel of each map is the same. There's a little bit of theming, but they still just, I don't particularly find uh games like that from a visual artistic point of view particularly exciting. um Also, I don't find it particularly exciting because I just get one shot all the time and I'm shit at the game, but
So we are going to do Hanamura with Solo excuse me, Academy, Solo Alt Academy on offense. So we had to flip our players. Uh, Additionally, we are going to hope and pray that this isn't just a steamrolled match.
Yeah, so we're going to Hanamura. So the key point here will be, especially for a goats tournament, is how well you're going to be able to defend that first point. Because with goats, it's definitely one of those ones where you can full hold on a map like this because you have just the one choke to come through, and it does require pure coordination to get from point A to point B. There's no chance of getting something like a Symmetra or anything. And so it's really interesting to see um, um, range, a short range composition. Obviously, goats is always going to be short range. Your only range damage really coming in from Zenyatta. An option to sort of increase rangeability, of course, is to play an Ana or maybe even a Sigma. So we'll have to see if either team does choose to do that. And
Oh,
as it
wow.
looks like it, as I'm saying, uh,
Literally.
literally, they are trying to get that range up. Now, I assume that Wrecking Ball is going to change to not a tank, being 3-3.
Yeah, and it looks like Let Flame Junk is holding fairly far up in the cafe attic. That's at least what I call that little building.
Oh, here we go. This looks very amusing. Are they gonna get this hidden shadow? Oh, slept! You can't shuffle like that, Mathalete. They heard you from a mile away.
And he is the first to
And
go
he is
down
the
because
first to
of
go
that.
down. Diva coming down. And look, this is just, I think that by Mathalete, that was a little bit of ego peeking through, I think, there. And you just get punished for it. I mean, Reinhardt is one of the loudest loudest characters in the game, and he's walking around, moving around. Anna heard him from a mile away and just got that sleep off. He was not prepared, and he
Yeah.
got punished for it.
Yeah, we have
Oh dear.
606 in the time bank as a result of Mr. Clunker
Jeez,
feet.
you don't see those
Not
much these
not
days.
normally, yeah.
6:06 on the clock. Here we go. Sigma's pushed out ahead of his team and looks like he may be punished, but an immortality comes in just in time to save him. We've got an early window to sort of take that space. Now, it's going to be interesting here to have the long range comp up there. Holy crap, big shatter, huge shatter. Budget just waltzing through them like it's, it's his birthday. He's just like, this is mine, mine, and mine. Presents lit up for him. Goodness me. He's just been given Hanamura point A and B for free. Goodness me.
Looks like
Great
Moira's
work to see. Moira's contesting. And Zen's just sitting there, waiting for his ult to come online, leading him into a false sense of security. And it's just very, they don't even have their ults online. Solo, yeah, geez. Jeez, let Flame Junkie just let him through.
Yeah, there were quite a few blunders right there, but that shatter was massive.
That
They
was a
didn't block it
beautiful
in time.
block shatter.
Yes.
Just beautiful.
I mean, that's it. That's kind of what you get for BMing on first point. You kind of get
Yep.
your ass handed to you, unfortunately.
Oh. Is this the time when I start being a little toxic and saying tank diff? Come on. Math
Oh,
elite.
what? I
You
wonder what our
can't take
chat is
that.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Last week I'm singing your praises, Math elite, but today, I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah,
Come on, you
honestly,
got to show me something.
if I hadn't seen the previous match, I would think Mathlete had been possessed. Like, this is almost a completely different team. This is a completely different person. Mathlete normally stayed closer to his teams. We have a monkey coming out on Artemis. Monkey
Yes.
Orisa.
So what have we got? We've got like the main tanks, all the main tanks, pretty much, except for, well, I don't know if you really want to call Wrecking Ball a main tank. It's kind of like he's kind of taken that role as in main tanks play him, but he doesn't exactly fulfill the role of a main tank, so it's really difficult to say.
Well,
But yeah, we've got the traditional sort of main tanks. We've got Ryan, Winston, Orisa, and I'm very interested to see how this is going to play because you've got exactly 0 damage mitigation. All you've got is the shields and an immortality to bail you out.
yes.
I
Orisa
would
is
expect
trying to.
them not to be able to full hold this. What? So they've got Orisa up here, and they're going to just leave her there?
Wow, I'm
Look, they
surprised.
just
I
leave
guess
her there and let her rain damage from afar.
I think their idea was if we walk around the corner, Orisa can't get us and she has to drop down.
Yeah, Orisa does take out the Brigitte, but we are still 2 down, 3 down now on solo ult. Yeah, I'm not sure that really went the way you would want it to. I would think if you are going to run this Ryan Orisa comp, you were trying to do something like that, I think I would have wanted to have a Zenyatta instead of a Lucio for that range damage to sort of capitalize and create more of a sandwich. But
I completely agree. Yeah, the
yeah, I think
discords would have helped quite a bit as well.
yeah, because really they need to be able to defeat the Rhine shield to actually get any benefit of having that Orisa up behind them. Anyway, on to the next point. We have the same setup. I would have switched off Orisa at this point, but here we go. We'll see how it goes. They're being able to hold pretty solidly. Golden coming out at the right time to prevent a severe walkthrough. Diva Bomb coming in to do absolutely nothing against that sort of double, almost triple shield comp. And they were able to hold it on the second point for at least one fight by Solo Ult Academy. Getting all those little
Smart
stagger
thing.
kills.
Yeah, Anna was doing the smart thing, hiding behind point away from her team, getting those long sidelines. Because when you have 3 tanks, you don't need to be on their butts.
No, having the Ana I think is a really good decision by Solo Old Academy, because it means you can like be sort of placed way back, and because her spawn is so close, even if she gets sort of rushed onto, of course she's holding on the other high ground now, which I'm not sure I'm as much a fan of. but we'll see how
Comes
we
out
go.
fairly early.
Diva Bomb coming in to take the brunt of all that range damage. Uh, Bogwarts, now that was interesting. Did you see how close in on those tanks and supports he was in? That was very strange, but he's used his ult and they're able to take this second point fairly easily as well. Now, I don't know if taking both these high grounds really did them any service. All it did was it kind of split the the team up, so that made it actually very easy for the Brawl to take them on. Now, obviously, you have to own both those high grounds in a traditional 2-2-2 comp, so that your ranged damage can sort of pop off. But with the brawl style of goats, you've just exposed yourself into a 3-2-1 sort of situation, and you've got six people running onto you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
think I think their strategy was they were going to have Orisa and Ryan hold one angle, and then the monkey hop to protect the other, and then they had a
yeah,
backup auto from long range support. But again, it doesn't really do much if a brawl's coming up to you. You need to either be together to defeat the brawl, or you need to back up. And they didn't do that correctly. They didn't have the space or the timing.
yeah. So anyway, I wonder if they're just going to go back to basics for this one. They certainly do look like a back to basics comp. I am glad that for 2CP they do bring it down to a minimum start time of 2 minutes, so that there's going to be, you know, um, only an extra 40 seconds. So we're not going to get that sort of 9CP sort of thing going on.
Yeah, cue the
So we've
it's
got
been 84 years.
Math Elite coming up very aggressively, stunned in the door. His team members going in front of him. Bogwarts, what are you doing, man? You can't do that.
Yeah, the one time
Oh
that Philly
boy.
closed down for his
You have to,
team.
yes, you have to dance in the choke a little bit. When your Ryan is stunned, you cannot go ahead of him. Oh, Bogwarts, you just paid the price there. You don't need to be up in your Ryan's butthole. That's not where you belong. You belong just a little tiny bit backwards from there. But anyway,
I
uh,
this
we
sorry,
do have
Artemis.
65 here. We do have Mathalete coming in pretty strong. Diva's found herself in the middle of Flat Flame Junk and is going to get severely punished for it. But the rest of the team was able to capitalize. Now, to me, that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Let Flame Junk was definitely in a premium position there, so I'm not sure what was happening. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's going on inside. Yes, so that's
Yeah,
a little unfortunate.
I was really worried about Artemis because they were far forward, but Budget really followed up.
Yeah, nice
Getting a
shatter
shatter
by Budget.
again.
I think Budget's just Ryan diffing here. They're really going to have to think about focusing him a little bit harder on Let Flame Junk. Now, let's see if any of these discords are even going on to Budget here. Because he's just not getting punished at all. I'm watching these health things. Oh, Math Elite, he's down to half already. Budget's got the bound barrier on him. Math Elite does get a massive shatter, but is it going to be enough time? Can they even touch? Is Lucio going to touch? He is. He's clutched it up, but we are very split now. Math Elite, are you going to charge back to your team? Are you just going to 1v1 that Zarya? You come back on, and you are going to just clutch out on this first point to take first point on second attack. That was a little bit hairy. Big shatter by Math Elite. We've still got ults coming in from Solo Old Academy onto them, but I think it's going to be a little bit of a waste. Now, see, Solo Ult under Budget have now only got the one single ultimate online, and they are nowhere near close for anything. So I would like to see Let Flame Junk go in very aggressively and take advantage of that. They've already got their rally online and their trance. So I would go in, go rally, get your Rhine ult up and shatter them, finishing off with a trance against anything untoward. Oh, Math Elite is down by the Diva Bomb. We still have the trance out. We now have Shatter from Budget coming online, and this ult difference that they came in with, where they had a better ult economy, has not proven to give them what they needed.
Yeah, it looks like they were able to successfully hold that.
Yeah. Oh, I
Now,
think that charge by Mathalete there is just. He presses shift far too much. Far
unbind
too
it,
much.
please. So I would like to take this moment to mention that right before Solo Alt Academy lost first point, they were typing main tank diff in game chat, and I think that may have been their undoing. Maybe too many people stopped and typed.
Yes. You're saying that the only reason why they were able to get that first point was because they were being a bit sort of MT diff, you know? Okay.
Yes, so
Maybe that's how they got the leg up. I don't know. But, I mean, look, is it possible for Let Flame Junk to hold this? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's possible for them to hold first. I mean, they do have to cap a full, you know, um, you know, Solo Old has to cap a full point. It's not always the easiest thing to do. This could be our first draw of the game. And I believe, tell me, is this a best of 7 or a first of 4?
for the semifinals, it's best of 4. Or first of 4, sorry.
First of 4. So
Yes.
this could very well go longer than 7 maps if it is a first of 4. If we get a draw this early on. Oh, well. Now, just for any viewers coming in, we do have. This is second defense for Let Flame Junk against Solo Alt Academy. Very comfortably already, Math Elite has his shadow up and is able to finish off the first attack push of Solo Alt Academy, being up on their alt economy as well. Getting a
Again,
nice dagger onto Zarya. So now it's already down to 2 minutes. That whole push took them 45 seconds to waste. So we do have support ult by Bogwarts and Uriza coming online. Belmorlock, I think, has been down on his ults comparatively to the rest of his team. He does seem to be a little bit of a weakness for Let Flame Junk. We have an early BAP window coming out just to sort of steal a bit of time. I wouldn't say it was like the most effective one in the sense of aggression, but certainly they can't push while that's still up.
yeah, it was
We
definitely to zone them and to burn down the clock.
Yes.
Shadow not really grabbing
Shadow not
anybody.
grabbing anyone. Bogwarts doesn't have to use his trance. And they've had to use trance here for. Oh, that trance by Bogwarts a little late on that Zarya ult. We do have 2 people down on 3 people down on Let Flame Junk. And it looks like Solo Alt Academy is going to take that first point.
I think it's interesting that
Yeah.
Urzar's death was given to Ryan, even though he clearly committed suicide to not stagger himself, and yet Lucio came back to try to burn some time on the clock. Now, while they're setting up for second point, we do have a highlighted clip from Been Retired. Imagine not interacting with us, RIP. That extra 10 viewers, they came to simp on them sexy e-girl voices. Well, you know,
Well, if you want to call us sexy, that's on you guys. I don't know.
I've been
I've
called
never.
worse.
Yes, I'll take sexy over any other compliments or insults any day. We do have Diva Bomb to break Budget's shield, but they've C9'd. Let Flame Junk. You've left the point. They've been able to take it even though you got a couple of picks. Oh dear,
Oh,
that
chat,
happens.
what is that called? Oh, chat, I need help with my amnesia brain. What is that called? Budget play of the game. This juicy,
Yes,
juicy
that
shatter.
was so juicy. Very juicy. I really like that. Yeah, that's definitely what we want to see more of. Congratulations to Budget for that round. Carried your team on that one. Wow,
Lots of
just
love for Urzar in the
lots of love
cards.
for Urza. Oh dear. And I think now we will move to a break, being the second match of the game. We have a 10-minute break now.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to assume the sound's off. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the third map of our second semi-final again with Let Flame Junk versus Prospect Solo Alt Academy. We currently are sitting on a 2-0 with Solo Alt Academy taking the first two maps from Let Flame Junk on uh, Oasis, and then on Hanamura. We now move on to an escort map. In this case, Let Flame Junk has chosen to take Blizzard World as their preferred map for escort, with Solo Alt Academy deciding to start on defense. I always think it is the best thing to start on defense. It gives you sort of more of a chance to sort of set the speed and momentum of the game.
For sure, when I do comp, I always prefer to be on defense first because you also get a kind of a first look at what is the team you're going up against in this particular map because everyone has their strengths and weaknesses versus attack defense and on map type. So it's definitely beneficial to be on defense first.
Yes, absolutely it is. That way you also know exactly how much aggression you're going to have to play with and how many risks you might have to take on the attack. If you are going against a team and you are only able to defend with 5 minutes on the clock, you know you have to go on the offensive. So we'll see what happens here. We seem to have dispensed with the whole Orisa Monkey Rhine idea and are playing something a lot more generic. We have that classic Rhine Zarya Diva with Zen Brig Lucio. These bees, why did they have to make another hero with a bee?
Because bees are
Oh,
awesome. Gotta love them
yeah.
bees.
I'll be calling like a bastion or something, and I'll say Bat Brig first before I even get there. Alrighty. So we do have an Anna on Solo Old Academy for the defense, hoping to get some juicy nades in those soul choke points. And we have Let Flame Junk coming up the left side rather than main, trying to get a bit of a short route. Maybe just trying to rush to point, but they're able to get a stun off onto Math Elite from Solo Alt. Diva sort of going in there, trying to eat up any potential flak damage, doing a bit of a decent job for it, but they're not able to touch the point. Solo Academy having to give up 2 ticks at least. And again, we have Ryan dropping first, Budget dropping, and then the rest of the team. And that was a very comfortable take by Let Flame Junk there. Solid Academy sort of starting up on that high ground. I just don't think that's really going to get you very far on a short range comp such as Goats. And they just weren't able to sort of hold space. They had to try and take space. Which,
Yeah, I
when you're on the
agree.
fence, you shouldn't be taking space. You should be holding space. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a bit weird. It's kind of like, it was
And again,
almost like,
Artemis was very
yeah.
far forward. I worried for the Zarya.
Yeah, but he was sort of able to get that. Budget was shifting in and having to be bailed out by Jin Ryle with the trance. Just kind of not ideal, but they've come through it, but they are down on their trance. I mean, really, like, I think you want to save trance, for the big Zarya grab that comes in, so you can save your beat for a Diva Bomb if required. But this way, you're being forced into using that beat for a Zarya ult. So it's not ideal. Big shatter by Mathalete. Trance coming in again by Bogwarts on the attack though. It's very strange. Very strange use of trance. I'm wondering if they're just finding now that the Zen ult is going to be more like used as an aggression rather than a defensive ult ability. Because both sort of didn't use it in that classic way that you generally see them used.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they're trying to switch some things up, throw their enemy off on what is traditionally done. Maybe isn't working anymore, and they need to be a little bit more aggressive. But I feel like you can be aggressive with your trans and still use it a little better than they've had for their timing and in their engagement. They keep getting players caught out of rotation. Like this
Mm.
diva has pushed way ahead
Yeah,
using her boosters.
Mathalie here should have a nice juicy shatter coming up. Big shatter, massive
Huge
shatter.
purple though.
Yeah, huge purple by the Ana, sort of bailing them out so they can't take advantage of that shatter. Mathalete shifting in again. He does love that shift button. I wonder if it has worn down. Does he still have ink on his shift button? Big shatter again by budget, but the ults are up and it's not going to be enough. They're all critical. And a Diva Bomb coming in just to secure that for Let Flame Junk. Now we have another shatter online for Mathalete. I'm wondering if we can show the viewers the next juicy shatter that I hope is coming in. Mathalete has come in, maybe to prove to himself, or prove to me at least, that he's still the same as he was last week, that he isn't going to let me down.
Yes,
But we
they're
will see.
definitely snowballing they're snowballing solo alt a little bit this map.
Yes, because I know last week Mathalete was a little bit upset to not come and speak to us um, in the interview. So we'll have to see what happens here.
Yes.
Okay, not as big a shatter as hoped. We seem to be going kind of even, but you know,
They,
two down on Solo Old Academy. Big shatter coming in from budget though to even things up. Only got Bogwarts and Jinroll both popping up with big damage. But we are going to see that Solo Old Academy has won that particular fight. We have, what do we have? We have a defensive ult and an aggressive rally online for which they're going to use to
they
push in.
literally used it as you spoke
Yeah,
it.
as I say,
They're
I gotta
pushing
get
him back all the
accurate.
way down the spawn. They
Pushing
all
them all the way to their spawn, leaving Diva to push the ult. Diva Bomb coming in, but we don't have the beat online, so Beat was not able to save Bogwarts from that. But big shatter coming in from Mathalete to save the day. Kill on budget.
unfortunately the
Trance is
trans
coming
though
out left and right. Another bomb coming out. Not really doing much. I must say that you know, Bladon's Diva bombs just don't seem to do much. They're not really creating the space and they're not getting the picks. I
yeah
would really like to see more come out of them.
at second point their bomb did space the grab out, but that's the only
Mm.
beneficial bomb that I've seen that hasn't just been a oopsie poopsie.
Yeah, it just really hasn't gone the way that you would like it to. I mean, clearly that could have been turned into, you know, Junk's favor, but not this time. Mathalete pushing up close again. Big nade again. You shouldn't be letting those nades get through, Bloodhorn. I'm not happy with you today, I must say. I must
Yeah,
say,
they're
certainly
doing their
things
defense
haven't
matrix
been there.
early and not saving it for the Ana
No,
nades.
they're not. They should be tracking to see what's going to be coming on. She should be ready for those nades every which way. Now, Mathalete has his ult again. Can we get a view on this ult? Because I want it to be nice. I would like to see it. I'm watching it.
Been on
He's
point.
stalking the
Unfortunately,
right hand
Trans
side and
has
the
to
left
save
hand
them.
side. He can tell that they're coming from two different sides, split pushing, looking for the biggest opportune moment, but it's blocked by budget. But they were able to take enough space that they weren't able to touch, and that would be another Charlie Niner by
Yeah, I have
Royal
to say
Academy.
there was a nanoed Rhine, there was a diva who had her boosters. There were, I think a Lucio nearby, if my memory serves me correct. There were enough people with enough health and mobility to just
Hmm.
kiss that little payload. Budget saying hashtag I'm a dog player.
Well, I would say, look, honestly, so I can sort of get where Solo Old Academy is coming from. Certainly where Budget's coming from, he knows he has to block this shatter. And he's put everything into blocking Math Elite shatter, which he has done successfully. But the rest of his team, like, I kind of get the feeling that the rest of his team just want Budget to be able to do everything, and he can't. He can't be there on the point while also trying to block this shatter.
For
So,
sure.
Diva, you know, that's sort of a thing on Oobs, I would say. Or perhaps even like Lucio, if he had his sort of beat up, to go and just make sure that touch is being had while that shadow's going off. Because you can see, I think Budget is doing very well in the sense of being able to track what Math Elite is going to do. Is he going to shadow or is he going to charge in? Budget does seem to be able to interpret sort of what's going on from Math Elite's perspective.
Now, Thane,
But
we do have a
it's
couple of
almost like
chatters
yes.
asking when's our next GOAT match, and we do have our main season tournament starting in March, or excuse me, February. Bleh, I said it right the first time, March. So look out for those advertisements. We will be posting them in chat as well. They're pushing into the point. They held point a little bit more smartly this time, not giving up that space on point and pushing them back into main.
Yeah, Let Flame Junk learning off the errors of Solo Old Academy last round. We do have, divas being isolated and taken out first. The baby diva just, trying desperately to either get her mech back or committing suicide, as is the best option at this stage.
And Bladhorn was able to prevent that suicide, giving her just a little bit more charge.
Yes, every percentage of charge counts, because tell you what, in goats, it's very, very quickly how a alt advantage can become an alt disadvantage.
Yeah,
We saw, yeah, last map.
even though
Sorry, go
Bladhorn's
on.
bombs haven't been incredibly impressive so far, we don't know. Maybe we're gonna get a Poco Bomb at the very end.
Oko bomb incoming, maybe. Maybe we'll see one soon. Bloodon's got his ult up. He can go and yeet it a bit. You know what you don't see much these days of? You don't see the shatter bomb combo.
Oh, that would be
You
so
know,
juicy.
that would be so juicy to see.
Huge
Big,
grab.
oh,
Oh!
this is a big shatter bomb.
Oh.
That beat coming in just in time to save it, which makes them 2 ults down. But we do have a big shatter from Mathalete onto the rest of the team. Not able to take full advantage of it all at once, but you have frazzled them. They don't have their Rhine, and their supports were in all manner of poor positioning.
Yeah.
Most of the team being able to get out, meaning they can sort of regroup and retake sooner. Not perfectly ideal, but it's still a fight win for Mathalete and his crew on Let Flame Junk. Let's have a look.
Reason
See,
they're
they've sort of
holding.
backed up. They're looking to rush in here. Interesting to see. Rally not yet again online by the team. Flame himself taking a lot of damage, having to use his bombs, his bubbles more defensively, not able to get a full advantage on his ultimate, and another massive shatter by Mathalete. His shatters are definitely popping off on this thing. We have Jin Ryle just in the back, 1v1ing Bogwarts and winning. Don't leave your supports on the point, lads. You
Yeah,
know,
it was interesting how they're like, it's just a Zen, we're
just a
good.
Zen.
And they're like,
We
oh
don't need Zen.
no.
Hello, Zen is your number one source of damage after Ryan at this stage, pretty much. And Discord is so strong, though Discord has been nerfed this patch, as we have all found out. Whereas I have sadly found out in my ranked games where I'm not quite able to pop off just as much as I was. Not that, I do a great deal of popping off as a main support usually, but you know how it is. Big bomb by Bladhorn coming in. Uh, I love to see the amount of assists you get in something like a Goat's Taunt. You've got 5 people contributing to this one Diva Bomb. How? A Diva Bomb does so much damage in and of itself, but that's the nature of Goats. It looks very likely that Let Flame Junk is going to get a full hold. They do have the ult advantage, though we do have Zarya ult and Zen ult coming online to match the number of ultimates that Let Flame Junk have with Ryan and Brig and Zen. Brig Rally coming out, pushing in. Is big stun out of his shatter. No shatter from Budget able to be done. Mathalete with another big one. Zen ult coming in for that Zarya ult. No ults online for either team. Valmolic trying to get his up to try and get that sort of boost of a beat, but it's not there. It's not there in time. It's
Chase
not
her!
enough.
Chase her! Chase her!
Big,
Moira's gone.
big full hold by Let Flame Junk, reminding us that they are still in this tournament. Whew, big one. I like
I
to
don't think
see it.
that's a C9,
That is a
boys. She was
C9, a Charlie Niner, as it were. Very, very impressive work. Feeling a bit sad.
definitely not a C9.
Yeah,
No,
definitely
I say
not.
no C9 because if you're 6 feet under, it isn't a 6'9".
No. C9 on the defense by Solar Old Academy initially. But not there. They're all just done 6 feet under, as you said. Well, I'm very excited. I do love to see a bit of a comeback. Nobody wants to come into this Goats Torn and see 4-0. I really do like that we've got Let Flame Junk. They've had their 5-10 minutes to sort of think about what they've done. They've felt bad, and now they're like, "No, we're sick of feeling bad. We're coming in."
Maybe
So
maybe
that's
they just
very
need
exciting.
some warm up, their hands are all nice and loose, and they're ready to roll now. So we're coming up to Escort for our next map. For chatting, we have been retired, kind of flaming me for my mistake about the match. For clarification, our next season of real tournament, no goats yet, is starting March 8th. Signups
Correct.
end March 6th. I like how Athena was like, yes, I am going to proofread her conversation right now. Make sure the correct information goes out. We also have a highlighted message. You're going to like this, Athena. I like the way
Oh.
you say shatta.
The way I say shatter. Yes, okay. Thank you.
That was my attempt of Americans saying the Australian accent.
Very, very well done. Well, I'm glad you guys are appreciating a little bit of variety in the accents provided by all the casters here. It is always so good to see that we do have so much talent in this thing, not including myself. I'm not sure how talented I am. I'm not going to puff myself up, but please, please, please feel free to compliment me. I do like that very much. So, yeah. No, but I think it's really good for our organization here that we actually have so much, I think, diversity in terms of, you're not listening to the same voices every single match that we stream. So, yeah, it's great to sort of be in a team like this. I'm glad to have joined you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had some fun chatting between the matches too. If you wanna, I don't know if you have ability to look at it, Athena. We had a
Mm.
few. Let me scroll up and see. We had Budget Dissension, Gyril, Let's Go, also being highlighted. We have some stinky, stinky cheese emojis from Been Retired. I unfortunately cannot remember the Korean name that was posted, but they said easy win for Prospect.
Oh, that's a bit of a flame there, isn't
Which,
it?
ironically, they didn't win though, did they?
Well, there you have it. Well, let's see. Let Flame Junk has come in to show us a little bit more. Now, what map are we off to now?
We are going to Rialto. I'm just waiting to see if we are going to have Let Flame on defense or not.
Maybe you better remind them
Yes, I am going
to
to.
pick.
Maybe they just have their adrenaline so high. Now I am a little sad. Math Elite finally got like enough is enough, and I'm just gonna shatter their whole team. But a trance came out, or they were too slow to follow up.
Cat Zen here thinks that Math Elite is nuts. Now, are we talking about whether he's actually that quite that good, or are we saying, maybe he's actually just a little bit crazy? We'll have to see. Is he nuts, but only in the good way, or in both?
Yeah, I
I
know.
guess we'll see.
Last time we had let Flame Junk in our match, we compared it to Vanilla Ice Cream and Cherry Garcia. Maybe there's some pecans and peanuts mixed in there too now. Okay, they will be on attack for Rialto.
So that's very interesting. That is a team that is choosing attack first instead of defense. On Rialto, I don't know if they're trying to intimidate uh, Prospect Solar Old Academy with this one, because to choose attack first is very, very rare. I mean, I personally hate to do it, but we'll have to see how this is going to go for them.
I
Now,
think Let Flame Junk loves the aggression, and I think that's why they want to assert their dominance. They want to be like, we're going to snowball you this entire round. We want to play that mental game.
this is a bit of an ego flex.
Maybe, I
Haha.
don't know, because
We'll
they did
have
it
to
so
see how
well.
this goes. Now, Rialto is an interesting one for goats. Obviously, we know that in a 2-2-2, it's a very sniper heavy map. We have Jen Ryle and the crew of Solo Old Academy just flexing, that they know how to jump off bridges. Ooh, scary guys. Very scary. I have shivers up my spine. Uh, you know.
They were going to
I don't
betray
know the point of it.
characters. But I mean, they were right outside spawn, so they could have turned around. Maybe they're just having little giggles.
Oh, I'm sure. It is always good to sort of keep yourself, up and your mental strong. Don't take it too serious. You take it too serious, you start stressing, and then you've lost 900 SR. Yes.
That speaks like
Anyway,
from
we've got
experience.
big, straight into it. Mathelite just smacking his hammer a bit. Shields up though a bit. Uh, Not as much ult charge. Both Rhines just pretty even here in terms of ult economy. Um, yeah, we do have on the Zarya's quite high charge, 100 charge for Artemis, and about the same for Flame himself, though he's not quite getting as much done with it. Artemis already 70 to his ult. Big shatter by Budget, straight on to Mathelite and his crew. Oh, pinning their Zen. Bit of a flex straight into their spawn.
She's just
Oh,
a
you do
baby,
like to see it.
guys.
Now,
Bloodhorn's just a baby.
oh, he's just a baby. He's just a baby. But
Just a little
anyway,
puppy.
and he's dead. So we'll have to see if Mathelite is going to be able to get a big, nice shadow on. But knowing that Artemis here already has his ultimate, and it does come out so that the advantage cannot be taken by Mathelite and his team, which means another fight win for Solo Ult. Now, that's been interesting. That has happened a couple of times this game where Artemis has come in with the Zarya ult to sort of take advantage or like to prevent more attacks sort of happening on the on their team. They're using it kind of more like a bit of a defensive ability to give them a little bit of extra life, which is very good to see that Artemis is also tracking the Rhine because he knows when he cannot afford to be shattered.
I
So it's
agree.
good to see. We're going to see the same thing from Flame himself this time because obviously we're going to have the shatter come out here from Budget. We're going to see a counter grab to that, and will Oobs be ready for it? This is really, when you get into these high levels, these are the sort of things every tank has to be tracking every ult to be able to take advantage. And of course, Flame's ult did not come out. Now, is that because it wasn't needed? But look, Artemis is using his second ult before Flame even uses his first. Flame, you can't hold on to it.
It's not
You can't
gold. You
hold
have
on
to.
it.
You don't need to invest it. Well, technically, that's
You
a
have
mixed
to
analogy.
use it. Well, you know.
You do need to invest it.
I mean, no. I mean, in gold, you do have to invest it because you have no idea when your next ult is actually going to happen. You're going to have a
Yes.
second ult before the end of the game. But you're getting ults so quickly in this game that you can't really hold on to them, or you're just going to end up behind on ult
Yeah,
economy.
definitely on
You're
gold.
going to have less opportunity. Ults are the game for it. And look, Flame has used their rally early, but it's not going to be used. They're not running into anyone. It's wasted. It's ended already.
Yeah,
and what else have they got? All they have is Trance. They get shattered. Trance comes out for the shatter.
Budget
Now Rally
gets
is going to
isolated,
come
though.
out on solo ult. I don't know. Mathelite has his ult. Is he going to get anything with it? There's another ult coming out for it, though. These support ults are just dominating how this game is played. I mean, Flame's just Artemis is just using his ult just to try to win confirm. Because there's no way of, Flame here actually being able to touch. They do get a touch on with Lucio, but Bogwarts is down. We don't have any ultimates online. Oh, I just don't see it happening. Flame now has to come and touch. Dissension gets a pick on the other Lucio. I mean, we do have Bladhon. He is getting close for his ult, but he has been babied. Mathelite is late with his own shatter so that Budget gets to his ultimate first. And what have we got? You've got a whole first corner. I don't see it happening. See, this is why you just do not want to go on attack first.
Yeah,
Going
it
on
kills your
attack
mental
first,
game.
it just, you know, how is Let Flame Junk? They're just going to come into here and they'll be like, great, we have to hold this first corner. How are you going to do that? I don't see it happening.
Yeah, you have to you almost have to preemptively hold further than you normally would, and puts you in a various precarious situation. You have to almost hold that first corner instead of, in between into this hallway. And it's just not a happy solution because if you give up just a few meters, they win. Where normally
Yeah.
you would be able to back up all the way to that point. It's just sad. It was a sad turnaround.
Uh, and being retired here has just made a mention about Eon uh, observing and producing. No, no, being retired. It is actually Jams online today producing for us.
Good old James, good old MVP of the production crew.
Yes, poor James. I think he wanted to have his day off, but not today, Prospect says.
Yep, he got wrapped into working with the quote sexy girls. I'm just gonna milk that sentence for as long as I can. So we are having pretty basic, we have a Brig, Zen, Lucio, nothing changing about supports on either team.
Yes, so we do have, yeah, just pretty standard again. Now, Mathalate is backing up, and it looks like they're committing to just holding this second corner for 3.5 minutes. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I feel like, they're trying to LOS so they can have the long game at 1 meter away from capture, but I just don't know if that's too risky to C9. They're gonna come up to high and drop down on them. What they should do, oh no, I
They don't
hope
want.
they turn
Oh no
around.
no no! Oh, we've got a little bit there of that flip. It's a big matchup. Red and blue everywhere. Red and blue absolutely everywhere. Diva being evasive on the high ground. Bloodhorn takes her out. Bloodhorn coming down to, you know, uh,
I
take
was going
on
to joke, it
their
just took
team.
one
Go
person
on.
to give up the team fight and go touch that cart to push it, and I think the Brig saw that and shut it down with Dissension. Because I was waiting to see who forced a C9 again.
Yeah, so let's see. We do have Bloodhound really sort of trying to own that high ground, which is what we like to see. We do like to see, you know, that happening. She has given it up, so she's not able to get quite as much of the flak damage or creative, I guess, defense matrix. And Artemis is leading the way up top with budget above on Solo Old Academy. Looking to get a big sort of shatter off. Mathalete blocks it. I'm really actually quite impressed at how well these two main tanks are tracking each other. Oh, that is a huge shutter bomb combo by Solo Old
Oh,
Academy to just cake that first point, like to just won that
I'm
third
100% guarantee we just clipped
fourth map today.
everybody's ears but Poco Bomb! Poco
Poco
Bomb by
bomb. Yeah,
Oobs!
that's what we like to see.
Claps!
I want to call that. That's play of the game. But it's not. Budget gets to
What?
claim it. Budget gets to claim it.
Stolen!
Now, it's right here. So he's going to get the shatter. That doesn't really do anything. And he charges through.
I don't understand why this isn't going to
Sorry, did you
Oobs.
see he shattered?
And
Didn't
it got
actually hit
blocked.
the shatter. It got blocked. And through one grab swing, he gets a second shatter just that quick. That is
Yeah,
actually really intense. Like,
yes.
hello. Oh my goodness me. That was absolutely huge. Great teamwork. Shatter bomb. I said I wanted to see one of those, and I did. I got to see what I wanted.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have the emote up in our Twitch chat, but if you're in our Discord, you can do Poco Bomb to show Oobs some love that we've been desperately needing from our divas all night. Finally, a bomb that got one person, let alone four.
No, massive, massive thing. Now, tell me, do we take another 2-minute break or something here, or we just keep on going, Laurel?
I feel like our players could do with a little break, we could do a Twitch ad, so anyone who is subscribed to us won't hear the ad, but
Mhm.
they'll hear our sweet, sweet stylings of our voices talking about this match.
Yes, indeed. Yes, so yeah, I must say that I am particularly happy about I'm hearing people doing the dishes in my background, which I will address very shortly. But no, I definitely have enjoyed seeing these two teams sort of, come up and consistently just try and prove each other that they're the best team, you know?
Yeah, it's been fun, to see. I'm sorry, I'm so blown away by that pokeball and the dishes because I wish my house did the dishes. You're a lucky, lucky gal.
Wouldn't that like, I can't complain, but my viewers might have to
Yeah,
claim,
like, click, click, click. It's so funny. It just I have such a squirrel brain right now because I just got so excited. So we are going to be entering the Nepal for the tiebreaker, even though it's not quite a tiebreaker, but it's just our fourth our map pool because it forces a team to win. And, this could go to Let Flame Drunk, and we have a 3-2 situation. We have to go again. I believe we just repeat our maps and we can't reuse a map that's already been done. But it
Yes,
could
that
go
is
to Solo
correct.
Alt Academy and just wipe our hands of this semifinal and go on to the grand finals.
Yes. So will we see Prospect Solo Alt Academy do a little bit of what Yeti did yesterday, 2 days ago, as it were, and take a 4-1? Or are we going to see Let Flame Junk come back again and say, wait a minute, calm down? They still have got the opportunity to prove themselves here.
Yeah, I mean, Let Flames Drunk has proven that they can reverse sweep, that they can
Hmm.
snowball, that they can hold their own. Mathlete's getting massive shatters again. It's just unfortunate that there's either a defensive ult that comes out or, the attack is just not timed properly.
Yeah. So let's see. I think some of the biggest things that need to happen is Flame himself. I know he's a DPS player. But, he's got enough aggression being DPS. He knows, like, how to kill people, right? Well, in game, of course, we don't condone that sort of activity outside of the game. But in the game, he knows how to kill people. And we just need to see him, not hesitate. Because I think today we've seen a bit of hesitation come from Flame himself. Certainly, he wasn't, going for those grabs. And, Artemis just, basically lapped him and just got
Yes.
2 for 1, and, he then throws his grab out then, but too late. We really wanna see, especially on attack, you really need to go with that aggression.
Yeah, and Artemis has scared me sometimes because Artemis is holding those off angles, really far away from the team on or not Hollywood, Blizz World. They were far forward by the gate almost, and everyone else was high ground. And on Hanamura, again, they were far above the choke, and so I was so worried that Artemis was going to get caught out of rotation. But every time, Budget comes up and protects his Artemis.
Yeah, I am actually really, really enjoying seeing the synergy between Artemis and Budget. I think that's really a big highlight for Solo Old Academy. Certainly, a lot of their team is playing, like, I think the supports are playing, like, quite nicely together and stuff. I do find that Jin Ral is sometimes a little bit up there and in their face, which I mean is a little bit of a flex, which is fine on Zen, of course, with all that damage that Zen can really enable for the rest of his team. But I really think, like, the highlight so far that I'm seeing of Solo Old Academy is just that synergy. And I think, are we ready to go back and continue the game,
I
Laurel?
do believe we are. Let me just get that final confirmation from the teams.
Now, of course, this one being a control point, we're about to go and see Nepal. There's not a defense and attack team. Blue team will remain as Solo Alt Academy, of course, with the red team being Let Flame Junk for you guys. Uh, yeah, so we're just about to start.
Yes, we are
Both
good
teams
to
are ready and we're good to go.
yes, and my dog has just conveniently said, "Hey, Ma, I'm ready to go too." So I'm sorry if he starts whining.
It's all good. Alrighty, so we're gonna start on Sanctum, the one with the big hole in the middle, in case you, like me, are not always fully sure of which map name matches which actual map.
I was literally
Because
about to sing your praises because I'm like, I'm a manager and I don't even remember which one Sanctum is. I'm like, it's the one where you can boop people on the point. Like that's how I word this map.
yes, yes, this is the boopy map. So we hopefully will get to see a little bit of flexing by these two Lucios as to who can actually get some environmentals. Because I must say, from my time in Goats when I was Lucio, it's not that fascinating to play. It's just knowing when to speed, when to heal, when to press shift.
Yeah,
And so,
Lucio's we're just heal speed bots, literally. And
yep,
it's low introduction but high mastery.
yes, yes.
I say
So
that like they
here we
play
go.
Lucio.
Math Elite coming out forward, and we have a ball
Oh,
on this one. Artemis has
goodness,
swapped
my heart!
off the Zarya onto the ball, looking for some big boops, I would say, as he swings round and round he goes. Where he stops, nobody knows.
Apparently by Mega.
Apparently by Mega. Yeah, so it wasn't quite as exciting an end as to my little statement there, my
He
little
did get a
jingle, as it
good
were.
displacement, though. He stopped the entire team from being able to do their full
Yes,
rotation.
but it does look like Flame himself is going to assert his. Oh, he's hit off by Artemis, killed by his nemesis, as it were. Flame himself has been sort of a bit diffed, I'm afraid to say, by Artemis today, and once again, that seems to be the case, but they do take the point on Let Flame Junk. So we have Ryan once more coming out to the front on Math Elite with his Shatter up first before Budget. Budget got taken out first last round. Not last round, last fight. They're coming in through the horseshoe. A bit of a rookie error, if you ask me. I like to call this area the horseshoe because, well, it looks like a horseshoe. I don't think that needs too much explaining, in case you
Yeah, and
weren't aware.
I would like to point out that part of the reason I think they lost is not just because that's a horrible area for Brawl to go into,
It
but
is just horrible.
Artemis was not with his team. He chose to go Zarya, and by the time he got the point, everyone was dead.
Yeah, no, it's just terrible. So they're going to come through this sort of main area with the rally, but you can try to expect them to try and boop off. They're kind of holding this stairway area very well. Another shatter by Math Elite before, you know. Oh no, sorry, it's shatter by Budget, blocked by Math Elite. That is terrible. That was my terrible call by me. I apologize. Math Elite definitely showing his aggression, taking that space. He's just pursuing it relentlessly. Shield is going down a little, having to rest it a bit. They're going to back off and let these guys in a little bit to where they can once more speed onto Solo Old Academy. Budget ahead of his team by quite a margin. They've come from two different directions. Like, you know, you've got the big bomb in with the
Ooh,
grab there.
I'm loving the bombs now.
Yeah, they only had the trance. Now, they did have beat as well, but I don't know what happened to it. Was it too early? I didn't quite see. Laurel?
I didn't see it either. I'm not even quite sure where at that point the Lucio died at. I almost wish we could have like an instant replay. I was mesmerized
Nice,
by
wouldn't it?
Oobs.
Yeah.
Oobs bomb. I don't know where his bombs have been all night. He's just been denied his
Like
bombs,
he
and suddenly,
just turned on. He just switched
yeah.
his bombs on. He's like, you know, heads down, bombs up.
Oh, poor
Uh,
Anna being bullied.
Yeah, being bullied. Another bomb coming in to create that space. They can move on to Budget and take him out. Big shift by Budget with a clutch bubble coming in from Artemis. Is it going to be enough? We do have 2 down on Flame and only 2 down now on Solo Old Academy. We do have a little bit of splitting going on. They need to go and isolate that Zen. They take him out. They can now push on by themselves onto point. Come on, what are you guys doing playing out there on the balcony? Lucio,
Yeah,
you
I
need to get
think
out of there, Belmoloch.
yeah, they
You know,
got
you got to take that
antied.
space. You
They
got
got
to,
antied
like,
early on and they
pursue,
hid.
pursue, pursue. We do have budget. Oh my goodness, Mathalie, what have you done? Just kind of went for a shift, but missed budget completely. I don't know what happened there. That was a bit of a, that was a very, very winnable point for Let Flame Junk. But they kind of were just kind of like, oh yeah, we'll get these kills and then not do anything about it, not do anything with it. I was
Yeah,
very,
they took their
very
dear sweet
surprised.
time. I think the Diva and Lucio being antied really threw them off the game. They held out by that Mega for too long and
Far
really
too long.
split. Yeah, they split the team up and just couldn't recover. Now the time bank is on Let Flame Junk's side,
But
but
only one fight in it now. We do have to see, we do have two tank ults on Solo Ult Academy, but with two corresponding support ults on Let Flame Junk. Oh my goodness, that is a massive boot. Bogwarts is off the map. Big shatters coming in by budget. And I think we're just going to see, unless this is some massive, massive bomb, we are just going to see Prospect Solo Old Academy coming in to take the first round of this map. Now, that
look at
surprises
Artemis.
me because they just took it like so confidently at first, Let Flame Junk.
Yes, it took Soul Ult Academy took it very quickly, and then Let Flame Junk held it for so long. They kind of got passive, and the turning of the fight, or the entire map, really happened when that anti happened, and the Diva and the Lucio just stayed too long away from uh their match. We did see that boop. We did see the Zen and the Lucio, I believe it was, got booped. There was just so much going on at that time. You know, it was clearly going in Solo Alt Academy's favor.
Yes.
There was, I think, 3 boops that happened. Unfortunately, yes, says our producer. I think Artemis kind of showboating at the end while high charged with 1,000% sensitivity on his mouse was also interesting.
Now, we do have Budget coming out first. He was quite ahead of his team, but, I really think that one of Let Flame Junk's biggest issues, and I said it earlier this match, was the Lucio just seems to be sort of not quite in cahoots with the rest of his team. They seem to be speeding in at inopportune moments and not having it
Did you
online when
see
they
that?
need it.
Did you see
Yeah,
that?
I saw that big spin from Budget onto the thing. We now have Mathalit coming in with his own charge. Bit of a nade on Mathalit, and they're able to take advantage of that nade and just finish him off. Sleep onto Bogwarts on the Zen, and we do have Prospect Solo Out Academy able to take that first take on and control the point first.
Now, I wonder if Budget even saw the Lucio or if it was just an opportune pen, because he crossed that entire bridge area to get the Lucio in that tiny room. And so I wonder if he missed his first 2 targets and was like, oh, as well.
It's quite possible. Let's just go for the Lucio. We do definitely see Budget is getting more and more aggressive, and it is paying off for him during this whole game. However, Mathalit now takes out Budget that time with the help of Bogwarts. Big bomb by Oobs onto Bogwarts, but we're just getting more picks by Junk onto Solo Old Academy, only with their Lucio up and now gone, and just taking out the
Rule was
Zen.
the final, yes. So it is now 1916. It's a map that's very close. I wonder if we're going to have a 99-99 again.
Yeah, it's definitely been really good to see how close all these maps have been, Laurel. And we do have they're consistently taking that high ground. This is very nice. They've taken out the Rhine first up with the bomb, because of course poor Budget, he has to worry about the onslaught from his team, from Junk, and then the bomb as well. He can't take care of both, and Artemis's bubble just wasn't there to protect him this time.
Unfortunately, Solo Alt Academy does have the ult advantage in this fight. We only have, so many ults coming up.
But I mean, we do have Mathalit coming online. We do have Lucio coming online. You have to move quick in goats. So we've seen time and time and again. Brig is anti, so she's had to back off even though she was just finishing off her rally. We've got another bomb coming in Bombs are coming in one by one all the time, it seems, in this match today. Oh, Mathalete interrupted. Flame did not have his bubble up for him. It looks like this time that Solo Old Academy is going to take it back. This time we're looking at 79 to 21. They got a clear 60% um, of control point time that
Yeah,
time on Flame.
yes, they got the
So,
upper hand. They had some time to
uh,
burn before into stage, but we now know these matches are going to be very close. They want to move and recapture as fast as possible
yes,
because they
but
know
it's a
they
bit
can
hard to
turn.
recapture with no ults online, only Diva Bomb online. Bogwart's taken out by Dissension around the sneaky back way. We have a big nade on Mathalete, which just ends in a very, very quick fight. But honestly, look, I mean, Let Flame Junk did not want that match to go on too long. If you let, if they let that fight go for too long and they still don't have ults, then they can't take the retake. So it's just as well for Let Flame Junk that fight ended so quickly.
We're
Although,
approaching almost equal percentages again
yes,
before the
we
next team
are
fight.
indeed. We got a shatter, not very big. Budget was by himself. They could have taken that in. I think, Let Flame Junk, you just got to die. You just got to die and get out. You've only got one retake left, and this is match point. This is match point. If Prospect Alt take this map, this will be sayonara to Let Flame Junk. This is your last moment, and all you have to show is rally and like shatter. Mathalete, you got to get one of those big fat shatters that we know you can produce. Can you do it? Big shatter onto budget. They do retake the point. They are split. They are split as. We do have Lucio Beat has come out. Jin Ryle is trying so hard to just take on Flame himself. Flame himself can't beat them all. And this is going to go to Prospect Solo Alt Academy for the win on Let Flame Junk to enter the grand final of Prospect Esports Showdown's Goats Tournament. Congratulations to Prospect Solo Alt
Congratulations!
Academy. You did diff them. I feel very sorry to some of the players in Let Flame Junk because, Mathalete, you certainly, and Bloodhorn, you did very well. But I must say, in terms of team cohesion, Prospect Solo Old Academy really was there beforehand. You know, it just it was just a bit of a diff there. Um,
Yes.
and it was a very exciting matchup to see Budget go up against Mathalete. Yeah, it was really, really quite nice. But
Yes.
yeah.
So right now, I'm going to pass it over slightly to you to solo cast because we're just going to do the polls because my
Mhm.
arm hurts from babying my dog that last map. But we are going to have a poll for chat to vote on most valuable player from Prospect Solo Alt Academy. If we can get our production crew to get that up for our chatters to vote. Who are we going to eliminate for most valuable player? Who do we think doesn't
Who can we
deserve
not?
it?
We can No, no, no. Look, okay. So on Prospect Solo Old Academy, who doesn't deserve it?
Oops, definitely should be on that list with that Poke Bomb.
Give it. Don't.
Budge.
We
Yeah,
we
I
can just
think.
take dissension off of it. Just to be
Yeah,
toxic. I think we can do
yeah. Just
that.
be toxic. I think we're going to take Dissension off. It looks like James is going to come and do a little tiny bit of casting with me, aren't she, James?
Just
No,
momentarily,
just
5 seconds.
momentarily.
Yes. I just had to put in my 2 cents because I
No.
know he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to
He
come in
doesn't he
and
doesn't need
talk.
the Dissension doesn't need to have the interview. I can see that. I wish
Yes.
the interview the best of lucks. Unfortunately, dogs have their own agendas. I will hopefully
Mhm.
be back for most shittiest player interview and we'll have that poll up after most valuable player.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get that most valuable player poll up for Prospect Solo Old, and then we'll go to Let Flame Junk. I think for that one, you cannot put Bell Moloch even as an option on that. I'm sorry to say. I think the Lucio, despite how basic a position it is actually one of the most important in goats. And if you're not doing the right thing to improve the cohesion of your team, and that can be like in IGL role or whatever. or even just like how you're playing, you've got to get that timing right. Timing is just so important in goats. So yeah, let's not put him in that one. I think so. We'll get those polls out and we'll see. I can currently see that on at the moment, and I am going to vote myself. And I think it should be Artemis in my mind. I think Artemis for me, I think he really did for what I saw, like the amount of support and aggression he brought in was so good. I really do think that that Artemis budget um synergy was a real big highlight of Prospect Solo Alt Academy. So, you know, so for my mind, Artemis, I think, I know Budget got like some big shatters and all that because I could see Budget's quite popular in the poll today. Um, but I think, you know, it's kind of like, that saying they say about men and women, behind every great man, there's a great woman. Well, in this case, behind every great Ryan, there is a great Zarya, and I think to really be able to pop off as Ryan, you really do need that great Zarya. But it looks like the chat is probably disagree with me, which makes me a little bit sad, I must say. Just a little. Um, how long, James, do I have to wait before I can take action on this poll?
There's just about like 30 more seconds of the poll left.
Great, so it has a time. Sorry, guys, I am new to this whole poll system. And of course, I've got to talk to you guys for about 2 minutes before I get to see the results of the poll. um, yes. Yeah, it looks like. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. It is actually even. People just they can't choose between Budget and Artemis. You know what? I think, you know what? Am I able to actually get the two of them in here, James? I would like to get both Budget and Artemis in because I think those two as a duo really did do what was required.
All right, we can do that.
And then you can put up the most shittiest player um, for Prospect Solo Alt Academy up. Follow for follow at Method. Yes, Mathlete would like you guys to know that you can follow his Twitch and his Twitter, and he will give you a follow back at _Mathlete. A little bit of self promotion there. So we will just wait for Mathlete and Artemis to be dragged up. Not Mathlete, sorry. Budget and Artemis to be dragged up.
So, did I miss anything exciting?
Well, the chat had MVP between Budget and Artemis. I think Budget got 11 votes and Artemis got 10. So I think I want to interview both of them.
I think
But I
that's
am just
fair.
waiting for them to be dragged up. Because I do not believe I have the ability or perms to do so.
Yeah, James is just figuring it out because we needed a translator for one of our players. And
Ah,
yes, so James was figuring that out because he is Pog production.
so for whom do we need the translator?
Hojin.
Hojin.
Yes.
I left him out of the poll for a reason. This is not good.
Oh,
Oh
Sad.
no.
Okay, here he comes.
okay, okay. I can
Welcome.
understand English, but yeah.
That's fine. Great.
Yeah.
Well, first, congratulations to both of you for winning the semi final against Let Flame Junk. We just wanted to congratulate you first about what great synergy you two have.
Uh,
What do you guys think is the secret behind your synergy? What goes on?
it's the first time we played together, actually.
Sí,
Really?
ah, mira, pues la primera vez, es la primera vez que hemos jugado y pues en verdad no supe que iba a ser tan fácil, pero pues, pues así es, ¿no?
Yeah, so he said even though it was the first time we played together, he made some good calls. He called out bubbles, and ultimately it was the Lucia that carried. You hear the boop there, right? Yeah, I carried.
Sí, yes.
I like Hoji coming in. I'm sure that was mentioned in that translation. I'm
Sí,
certain,
sí,
and that interpretation.
Yeah, he said, yeah,
Yes.
that's correct.
yeah, that's
um,
correct. Yeah.
so there you have it. So like for Azarias out there, you can sort of say, if you're calling your bubbles, you would say that really enables the Rhine to be able to take the aggression and feel confident in being able to do that because he knows exactly what support to expect. Yeah.
Sí,
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
entonces, lo que tiene
Most
que
of
ver
the
con las
time,
burbujas es nada más, o sea, es nada más decir, o sea, ya, dámelas y luego, pues, ellos usaron, pues ya podemos ir. Y pues en verdad yo creo que tuve o sea, un buen tiempo con ellos, o sea, con el quien jugué, fue un buen tiempo. Y pues sí, un Saya sí sirve mucho para un Rain, para que haga cosas.
Yeah, so he basically said he was kind of feeding on Ryan, but his team kind of backed him up every single time with bubbles
Yeah.
and like big anti-nays, which provided aggression. And then like obviously Lucio beats, fat transes and basically everything. That's basically what he said.
yeah. And another
Yeah.
thing about Zarya bubbles is that sometimes most of the time you want them to go into you with bubbles first, and then they'll use their resources, and then you go into them with bubbles.
Yeah, so it's also that sort of that waiting game or baiting game in a way to try and see who can use their resources first because he who uses his resources last has sort of more strength because there's just not the defenses for it. Yeah, so it's definitely for us, it was definitely very, very nice to see that. And we are wishing you guys all the very best for next week in the grand final. I won't say that you're my favorite because that would be biased. And
Oof.
We
I
can
mean,
have
I am
biases.
biased, but like, but
We can definitely have
but I'm not gonna.
biases.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, they are
I haven't seen Team Yeti to be fair. I haven't seen Team Yeti yet, so I feel like, you know, is it unfair for me to say you guys are my favorite? I don't
No, because
know.
they're Prospect Soul Alt Academy. They own the name that
Ah,
we represent.
Yeah.
Also, Artemis, I have to say, I was scared for your life at times. You are very ballsy with the positions that you take,
Oh
and
yeah.
thankfully, Budget had your back every time. As soon as people rushed you, Budget was like, "Nah, not my house."
now did we end up putting that MSP poll up, Jams?
So there's only two people for the or not NTNS Let Flame Junk, so we're just gonna drag them both and let them talk.
Okay, cool. So we're just gonna chat about them.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, thank
Yo,
you
their
so
main
much for
tank,
joining us.
their main
Yep.
tank was nice.
Yes, Math Elite is very well known for aggression and just pretty much owning people who he faces. He's just a big old stompy. Now, I also have to ask, did you guys hear them waiting in the cafe? Or wait, which team was that? Ah, Athena, help me.
I do believe that was Mathalete up
What
there
map?
Which
on
map?
Hanamura.
Oh, I
Hanamura.
spotted that on Ana.
Yeah, you
Yes,
spotted that, or did you hear it?
I just like I don't know. My vision
Both.
too good.
Yeah.
Two
Your
vision
vision
too
too
good.
good.
2020 specs. Yeah,
Balls.
Athena did
Hello.
give the Anna the credit of spotting, and we just thought it was because Ryan was so heavy. I was going to ask about that.
Well, he was
Budget,
shuffling around.
yeah. As Budget, how did you feel when? I almost feel like that was a BM move on them, and it really gave you guys the foothold for Hanamura first point.
Yeah, we played Orisa though.
Which one?
Yeah.
For the attack for the when Mathalete was in the top of that the whole team of Let Flame Junk was in the above cafe outside of the gate, where the Orisa
Mhm.
held the second point or the second round.
Orisa goat.
Hey,
Yes.
that's the full
Arista
tank.
goats.
Uh,
Yeah, let's not see that one again.
Oh
Hey, it
yeah, and
worked. We rolled him.
Budget DM
yes.
me that
Okay.
he wants to mention that he was getting focused a lot on Reinhardt. That's
Yeah.
painful.
Very
Yes.
Yeah.
well.
Well, that is the life of
Of a-
riding goats. I don't know what you thought you were signing up for.
I mean, even in goats, have you played Reinhardt in comp or scrims recently? It's pretty much stun, shatter, stun, CC, stun.
Another thing I want to
Yeah.
mention is that when you're playing Czar, just press Q off cooldown.
Yes,
Yes,
we
you.
did notice that. You just had those. Just keep them coming. We like to see it. Sanservia wants you guys to know that next week they will roll.
Yeti will
So,
roll.
yeah,
Wait,
Sanservia
they're
said
playing ball? That's
will roll.
unfair.
I like that. We took your insult and
Well,
made it into Hammonds. You
good.
can't defeat us on a squeak squeaker.
Alrighty, let's bring Mathalete and that in, and we'll say goodbye today to Budget and Artemis here. Great to have you guys in to interview. We do like to see it, and congratulations once more on the most valued player Budget and for
Yeah.
the win today.
Where's
Thank you.
MSP?
Muchas gracias. Bye bye.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to MSP today.
Bye-bye.
P was the oh no, because we're getting normally we only do MSP for the losing team. Are we doing MVP for both teams?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a little bit. Look,
Ah,
honestly, I think you should have an MVP and an MSP for the game, but that's just me.
yeah. I feel
Um,
this first
those
to
are too
4,
long.
which was really 5 maps, I think has made our brains turn a little stinky cheese emoji. So we're just trying our little best.
Yes.
Math Elite's Ringer Squad, I guess. Okay, we are
You dragging
grabbing
them?
Math
Very
Elite.
good.
Yes.
Hey, Mathalete. And who else do we have here today? Zactib. Zactib, who are you on the team?
I'm Euro Brig. Yeah.
Brig.
Brig player, yes. All right. You got a
Fantastic.
lot of love in the cards quite a bit.
Oh,
Yes, they do. They do love you, and they feel sorry for your entrapment in Brig jail.
it's okay. I
It's in
like
the
being
chats
in
for
Brig.
Brig Jail.
I
Oh.
like being in Brig Jail. It's fun. Thanks.
Woo, okay. Well, anyways, where look, when I came in with great hopes, hoping you guys would sort of show a little more as a team, and I'm sorry to say it didn't happen. What happened?
We thought that will be like the diamond team, but instead it's like the ringer squad. So unlucky.
That explains it because
It
we
doesn't
had a
seem.
feeling that things were a little mistimed or like Matthew, you were getting some crazy shatters off and no one was really following up with it. The Lucio timing was a little off. And so that makes sense if you were just, the ringer squad for the semifinals.
I mean they were really good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the timings were bad because Flame, the Zarya, just missed bubbles because Flame is bad.
Yeah, we need to see it.
That's a bit of a worry for a TPS player, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. This is why he's playing junk and not Zara.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's used to
Well,
just
yes, so
pressing
he's a
mouse
Junkrat,
1.
not a hit scan, huh? I guess.
Yeah, but I mean he
Yeah.
did great, but he could do more. But this is fine. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, goats is just a bit of fun, really, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
you're not gonna be, as I mean, look, you should definitely try in any tournament that you play in, but honestly, you guys are clearly going to be like I imagine focusing on your 2-2-2, yeah?
um, I
Or
mean
no?
we're not playing together normally. Like I'm playing with Flame and Balmolak, but I'm not playing with
Mhm.
Rosor, Bladon, and Only Nice.
Oh, so
So
this
Okay, so
was
this is just specifically for
yeah,
the
yeah,
goats
and we just
team.
never scrim. So
Yeah.
ah.
Well,
So
I mean, for a team that doesn't scrim, it's very, very.
Yeah,
like,
that
You
wasn't
to
bad.
good to see, you know?
semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, you got all the way to semi-finals, so you can't be unhappy with that. And because you guys seem to have bigger mentals than Xantar did, you do take home the prize of third prize, which I don't believe there is any prize, but you know, you get to say, "Hey, I was third place."
Is that
Well,
like chocolates?
I wish, but I do
Wow.
know that within the Discord server that Prospect has, we do have honorable mentions and some perms for the top 3 winners. Now, I
Mhm.
guess I can ask you this separately since you're not normally on a team together. Do you think you might be joining us again for our tournament uh, season 3, or do you think you might go on and do other great things individually?
Maybe, but I'm not sure because there is like other tournaments and yeah, this schedule is pretty full. But I will see anyway.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and what about you, Urzar?
I'm just I'm gonna sub for them like if they want. So if I don't plan on going on my own, but if they plan on joining, I might sub for them.
Mhm. So you then sorry, Zactib or
Yeah.
Urzar,
Urzar as it were.
Urzar, yeah.
Um so you tend to prefer to sub for teams more than say be in a team, or you have another team on the side?
Oh, like I don't. I just stopped playing Overwatch like in
Mhm.
teams. Like I don't know, 6 months ago
Yep.
because of things going on in real life.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Well,
I
I
just
mean, you know, real life always has to come first.
Yeah.
yeah
Never put your real life on hold for a
yeah
game,
Especially for
and
Brig Jail.
especially if not for Brig Jail.
Even if it's enjoyable. But that's still impressive if you've been sort of on a break for 6 months in a more serious position, like if you're not playing in a team environment or scrimming, and you joined as a free ringer sub. It's very impressive that Let Flame Junk made it to the semifinals.
Yeah, no, yeah, it is very good because honestly, if I wasn't playing much for 6 months, I'd be washed as. I mean, I play like
yeah
I'm washed when I'm not washed, but you
yeah
know.
I'm washed, but thank you. Brig is not hard to play. It's just uh, it's no aim. You just have to
Yeah,
be.
no aim, but you
Yeah,
still need a
it's
brain.
a smaller rain, I guess.
It's a baby rind, but so you have to time your engagements, and so you have to be big
Yeah.
brain about it. You don't have to necessarily have accurate eyes in form of aiming, but you have to have a big brain. And you
No
definitely
brain
shown that
stutters.
both of you have great big brains and good timing for your aggression. Now, hopefully, we'll see some fun stuff from both of you in the future.
Yeah.
Yes, hopefully we will see from you guys in the future. It was great to have you in chat today to just have a little bit of a post-game chat. It's always really nice to actually get to know, you know, and talk to the players, rather than just being so completely disconnected. And I do apologize for any flaming that I do. It is honest, but it isn't done cruelly
No, this is fun.
most
This
of
is
the time.
fun.
Yeah, and
Like we played in season 2 and I played against Yeti. They were way more trash talking than you or the other team, but now they were fine. But I mean, at the seasons 2 they were like always on our back.
No,
But
the worst team for trash talk was Team Bedrock. I don't know if you remember, but they were like constantly in chat saying, yeah, trash talking basically.
so you're fine.
Saying something which we can't like proclaim because of Twitch terms of service, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
we just try to have some fun, and we definitely mention the names that everyone loves. And Mathlete is a name that everyone in our community definitely loves, and Brig is a common enemy for teams.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I think, yeah, I think definitely our viewers and players and stuff would love to see you again in our tournaments, both of you. But if that's not to be, we wish you all the very best in whatever you guys get up to in Overwatch and other things.
Yeah.
All
Thank
the
you.
best.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think that wraps up our uh, stream for today. So, once more, thank you for watching. Next week, we have our big grand final against Prospect Solo Alta Academy and Team Yeti. Very much looking forward to that. So, we'll see you next week, same channel as per usual. And good night.
Good night, everybody.
Before we say goodnight, I'm gonna say a few things. Production, cameraman, observer, whatever you want to call me, James is speaking now. It was a very good match tonight. It was very fun to watch. But we have some announcements to make. So season 3, I'm not sure if I don't think we've posted the sign up link, but make sure to get a team together for that. March 8th is the start of the season, and I believe March 6th is the deadline to sign up. So that's just one thing. The GOATS tournament week 6, I believe, is next week. So make sure to tune in. We have one more stream. Prospect Solo Ult Academy and Yeti, please schedule as soon as possible so we can stream it and get it done ASAP. So that shouldn't be a problem, but we just want to make sure it's done. Other things is the reason I don't mention Let Flame Junk scheduling is because Xantar Diff decided that they want to forfeit next week, so Let Flame Junk gets an automatic win. That's good for them. That means that they are going to automatic 3rd place. No need to worry about trying to go against the EU tryhard 4,500 players. It's okay. That's going to be an easy cruise to 3rd place. But that means we only have one match streamed. So if you want to tune in next week, make sure to catch our stream because that's going to be our only stream. It could be the last stream for a month because unless we decide to host another off-season tournament, like a 2 to 3 day thing, we're going to only start casting again once season 3 starts, starting March 8th. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. We really appreciate everybody coming out, and we hope you had a good day.